do in the future. You don't really know what's gonna make it to release. Still no tortoise. Futures had a bunch of these things. There are 45 contraption cards. Yeah, they were done like 12 years later in Silver Border Magic, which is basically just not real Magic. They're special parody sets. Didn't have much of a future. This whole set was such a mess. Oh god, Bridge from Below is in this set. Anyone play Cultullus these days? Nah.
Don't see a gap in their armor. Make one.
Dagger me? Nope, it's just a coral.
That might even be amusing. Probably this and this. Wanderers is generally coming out round 1 for this deck. That's okay.
Don't you pester me. Nothing like some overseas plundering in spring.
Current there, Cultullus with Choden and Yen. Offensive Yen's a lot of points.
You stand before the Queen of Skellige.
This Kane expansion will be awesome. Hope so. The cards are cool. So this works.
A witch's best friend is a pig, no doubt.
Hey, Julio. Playing wrong order of cards in Storybook Brawl. Yeah, figuring out positioning is complicated, for sure. Jam the Jaeger in. How good SK is their art is top notch. I don't think I saw the art for the newer ones.
Into murk with a shrill cry.
Oh. Yeah.
Fool me once, death on you. No one gets to fool me twice.
So what, I'll miss Azrael with this order? I don't really want to miss Azrael. Hmm. Yeah, because a lot of the time with the shop, you're just trying to buy fast, so you have time to think about your positioning. Buying's usually the easy part. Wait, Tainted Grail? No. Don't know what that is. And Big Wiz today. Yeah, we're celebrating the return of Gurney by playing Gurney. Nice. Am I playing monsters 3 days in a row? Yes. Is that gonna be bad for YouTube? Yes. Do I care? Well, kind of yes, but not enough. Check my progress. It's coming along. We got some sweet stuff on there. It's probably at the point where I should, like, share it around a little bit more. Data might be the bottleneck at this point. Well, I guess also, like, making a presentable front end would be a good idea. Monster's the least popular faction? No, it's Scoia'tael by far. You could say there are only 5 factions in Gwent right now.
Board up the windows, bar the
It's a lot of rain.
Stow the animals inside.
Quick! Move those hooves!
We'll both be ham! Hey, easy jab in. Doing alright. No piggy. Play around Junod. I don't know. He heat waves me, he heat waves me.
Feed us with strength as we feed you with blood. I do not mince words on principle.
I want the points. Like, I'm pretty sad if he grimaced. Yeah, there's 1 bronze revealed. That's sorting, saying that in a list rather than tiles. Yeah, maybe. I wanted to have the images there because I feel like the images are more recognizable than the card names. Filter for characters or spells. Yeah, right now there's no distinction between characters and spells in the database. So, right now spells are just characters. Something I did not realize as I was hacking it together. See you, dude. Yeah, I looked at it. We'll talk about it later. I don't know if we're forced enough, but whatever. It's sort of tempting to jam the Azrael. An accidental reveal? No. I think it was probably just one of tomorrow's reveals. A couple hours early because of time zone confusion, or just that was when he was live. Because Monsters is up next, right? High play rate can skew their win rate lower. Yeah, it can, especially people playing bad Nilfgaard decks. It's the problem with looking at the stats faction-wide instead of a deck-by-deck breakdown. There's also some natural normalization. There's like a lot of mirror matches, right? Someone has to lose a mirror match, which drives it closer to 50. You could probably adjust for it, but I'll leave that as an exercise to the reader. Playing that many bad decks. They're not necessarily playing Nilfgaard as one of their top 4 factions, right? I mean, it's not just bad deck, but like not playing the best deck. plenty of time people do well with decks that aren't like the ideal Nilfgaard deck. Or like they'll get a peek with Nilfgaard and then tank it with something else. Nope, not there.
You shall die.
I do think he's probably under the rug though. It looks like a very tortoise-shaped lump. Monsters has the biggest variety of decks? Not this season. If you want to win with monsters, you're playing Koschei and maybe Arrakis midrange? But really, it's just Koschei. Monsters has got nothing. What about Frost? It's not a competitively viable deck. Yeah, like you look at the TLG snapshot, just as an example. They have one monsters deck in all of the tiers, and in tier 2 alone, there's Nilfgaard midrange, Reveal, Clog, Imprisonment. I think they have Mill in tier 3 as well. And like all those decks play pretty differently from one another. Reveal being hyper thin. Why don't you just call it hyper thin? Everyone else calls it hyper thin.
Quick and painful.
This is a viable strat. The game is broken. I feel like that needs a citation. I don't know about that. Monsters usually has a lot of decks that are like somewhat viable, but this season, all those decks that usually feel somewhat viable feel really, really bad. Wait, what? The dog came out before the Archospore? Oh, wait, because it's a timer? I don't know. I don't want to think about it. Did I lose points? I don't think I did. I can play one more card. I guess I'll play this liability. Yeah, Koschei gained an extra point of power, or Larva gained an extra point of power, which is an extra point on every Koschei spawn. As well as the cards from the expansion, right? Like Witch Apprentice helps that deck a lot. Dan Kane, the Crones. I think I want to pull the Wanderers. I think this is okay. This is a big point gap. Just a win more change. No, it's not just a win more change. It matters a bit. It matters quite a bit. Koshchi definitely has some games that come down to a few points. It also just makes it so that you can throw your card away in round 2 and still be able to win round 3. Where you wouldn't necessarily be able to do that before the larva buff. Impression about the new cards? We'll talk about them in like 40 minutes. We do not know. So we don't have actual stats. It's either mid-range, Quag, Ball, maybe Hyperthin. I know Red Dream really likes Hyperthin. Yeah, the last 2 SK cards revealed, and then there was the first Monsters card revealed. I don't think the Monsters one is on the website yet. Well, one of those reveals is one of today's reveals. There was an early reveal a couple days ago, too. I think Salve was revealed early. One of the Skoya Golds. About the same time, too. Yeah, draw Chronovolok, Larva, it seems fine. I have no idea. I'll figure it out when the expansion comes out and we have patch notes. I never make that decision until the day of. Just depends how I'm feeling at the time. I care about this. Can use the heat wave. Opponent's committing their short round.
What are you gonna do? Huh?
Seems good. So I know I'm drawing the Crone, so I'd rather not play one of the Crones here if I don't have to. Don't have a Ghoul yet. Just jam the Azrael, I think. 13 for 4 territory? Not really. Are you gonna call Spores a conditional 13 for 4 too? Because, I mean, we're already there if you're really that worried about it. He's talking about the effigy. Wowie. Spores target Azrael. 13 for 4p. You can definitely brick. There are matchups where your opponent doesn't play like good bronzes. And if your opponent, I mean, we don't know what Gurney does, right? Like if your opponent kills Gurney, you're only hitting bronzes. Okay, I guess the Switch Apprentice isn't actually gonna work. Assumed it was gonna do something.
Who wants to taste Skelliger Steel?
Not that it matters. It's going to be difficult.
You shall die.
I don't even know if it's playable at 4P outside of like a rocket storm. I feel like you're way too worried about it. Would be relevant against commandos? Yeah. It's good at banishing bronzes. It's like a squirrel against commandos though, right? It's not really doing anything crazy. But it's an organic squirrel. Yeah, it's good against SK, it's probably good against... It's good against monsters. See new cards? I mean, the card's kind of just inherently a tech card, right? Unless Gurney's like a mill card that mills their biggest unit. I'm not really sure what type of card would support this. Bricking Hjalmar is good enough. I mean, how often are you actually bricking Hjalmar? Maybe you've turned their Hjalmar from a 10 into an 8, or like an 8 into a 6, but you're not bricking it. Fit it anywhere? Yeah, just like Squirrel. You can fit Squirrel anywhere too. People don't put Squirrel everywhere, but you can. Squirrel has the extra utility of like banishing Maddox and boats and stuff easily too. Like, how many matchups are you getting great value out of the Banish? Against like, it's a 4 provision card you can't really play in round 1 for 1. Against Skellige, it'll find value. Against monsters, it'll find value. Against every Scoria we've seen, it's pretty bad. It's just a 4. Against against non-commando NR, it's pretty bad. Against Nilfgaard, it's generally bad. Knights and Tortoise? Yeah, potentially. Banish Shani and Patience target? Yeah, but they're just playing as a squirrel, right? You don't really care that much about squirreling the Patience target. Like, you're not banishing AA. Like, it's worse than Squirrel. I guess I let Wanderer come out. And today we're playing some wholesome Gurney. Like, in a lot of matchups, you're sort of playing it as a pact that you can't play in round 1. And in some matchups, it's going to get a little bit better. Grandmothers are gold. You just pull the gold. Like, you can't banish golds unless you play another card. So you just play an Alchemy when your opponent plays their Gurney or Bloody Mistress or whatever. It's like a card that sort of cheats on rate in some matchups. And in others, it's like a bad pact. It doesn't cheat on rate super hard anywhere either. Like, it's at its best against decks like Commandos, for sure. Or I guess decks trying to play Ghoul. I guess Ghoul gets bullied by it pretty hard. I definitely have to push. Meh. Yeah, Avalock's just here for value. I mean, they do different things. It's just... I don't know. If you're going to play a tech card like it, I feel like you'd rather play Squirrel most of the time. I think the card's legitimately very good for a Rocket Storm. Like, stapling an extra point to it is a big game.
Fool me once, death on you. No one gets to fool me twice.
It's time.
Yeah, you can Portal Conquerors. Arrakis occasionally wants to be doing that. Often wants to be doing that.
Powers I wield were born at the dawn of time.
Yeah, Shienda's gets me pretty good here. I don't have Heat Wave. I can lock it, but we'll see if that matters.
Quick, move those hooves. We'll both be hanged.
We'll talk about the leaks in like 30 minutes. I would be surprised if Gurney wasn't Thrive support.
I do not mince words on principle. Mankind is a
Like, you gotta imagine it ties in with the leader somehow. Bloody Mistress, we don't know. Hasn't been spoiled yet. Yeah, cards probably. Yeah, he's got the Caretaker. Whoa, what? Interesting. Very weird. Questionable. Got damage current for one of the Koshchis. Miss my Azrael, miss my Heat Wave. Gross. Nah, I mean, I'm pretty sure he still wins. He doesn't need the carryover. Hey, Kajamon. I feel like I don't need paid actors. I feel like just every time I watch any Gwent tournament, I feel justified. Yeah, I got just dead. There's no way. Tortoise. Nope. Nope. Tortoise under the rug? Yeah, I think there is too. Brutal. Jackpot. There's been very little Syndicate this season. Like, kind of surprised. Like, last season, every third game was against Syndicate. Or this season, I feel like I play against it only a couple times a night. So I don't have a good consume. I do have a bad consume, though. I think I'm willing to play the bad consume. There's some thinning. It's basically a Bargist, right? What type of movies do I watch? I really don't watch a lot of movies. I don't even know what the last movie I watched was. Destroy? Yeah, but it's coming down as a 9. So just like a Bargist. Yeah, destroy counts as Death Wish. And side decking? CDPR implemented? What do you mean? Like, how would it work in tournaments? Or... I don't even know. I mean, I guess you would register like a 28 card deck with like 3 of them in the sideboard or whatever. However big the sideboard is. I don't know if sideboarding makes sense in Conquest, though. Like, it does feel like they make a lot of cards that are designed for sideboards, but I don't know if that's just because they... I don't know. I don't know why they make so many cards that look like they're designed for sideboard games. Yeah, sideboarding with provision limits. Ugh. Card supporting. Stuff like Dire Bear is the first thing that comes to mind. Like anything techie feels like a sideboard card.
They're surprisingly clean creatures. Happens.
Hey, boy. Still don't know what side decking is. So in Magic, games are played best 2 out of 3, but you play the same deck for each game. It's not like Gwent where you have 3 different decks. But between games, you get to take cards from your sideboard and swap them with cards from your main deck. And then present that as your 60 for the game. Yeah, it's 15 per in both Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! You normally swap 1-to-1, so like you take 1 card out of your main deck for 1 card from your sideboard. I think Magic lets you overboard, but it's very rarely done. Pretty sure Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't let you overboard. It always has to be 1-to-1.
Lots of prior experience. Worked with idiots my whole life.
If he wants to Caesar, he can Caesar. I don't think it makes sense. I don't know. Like, games are played of best of 1, or their Conquest, where you bring 3 different decks. I don't think it solves any problems in Gwent, unless you completely change the tournament format. And even then, it's really awkward with provisions. I mean, the deck doesn't have the worst long round ever. I am not playing into that. You got me. Meh.
Break? I'll give you a bloody break, lazy shite. Mankind is a virus, a plague.
I think I'm probably supposed to answer Roland. Probably need the Heatwave Gellert too, but we'll see. Hey, Yalmer. Maybe we'll get to just damage Corona. Nope, review is probably after this game.
Truly extraordinaire.
Or say the Heatwave do Salamander. I'm not going to assume that he's Salamander. Nothing that he's done makes me assume that he's Salamander.
Job's a job.
Why not eat the bounty? It's what, 1 point better to eat the bounty? He was on 4 coins, I'd overprofit him by 1. We get 1 extra point by consuming the fruit anyway. I guess I'd boat went to that row. I would have a lock this. Ah, real wrong row on the Wanderers. I guess that's a reason to not play the Were-Rat this turn. 50-50 there.
Draw that bandana over your face.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Don't think he's Salamander. I think ST... I think Simlas is still the best card revealed overall. And the Orb is really hard to evaluate. So Melusine. The card's really cool. I like the design a lot. A lot you can do with it. Also very hard to evaluate. Let Were-Rat eat Egern for Ozzy. Why not put my Were-Rat to 30 power? I don't know. I feel like there are reasons. The better question is, why is Gurney's Fruit in the top, not on the bottom? That's the real question.
You will see it in your dream.
At this point, I mean, I kind of care at this point. It's gonna die, so it matters. Feels kind of bad. Lose 7 points there to make his Salamandra hideout a few points worse. Was it only 6? I guess it was only 6. It was at 20. Lose 14 power, make 8 tokens, yeah. Could have been worse. Saves net 4 points.
Oh, late for the best pilot.
Okay. Something from Omori. Songs are all so short. Let's cue this one up. That's the one problem I have with the Omori soundtrack, because every song is under 2 minutes. Not my time. There are like 4 songs that I cycle through when someone requests a generic Omori track. I guess there's more actually. There's quite a few. I mean, our points are kind of close, but he has 7 coins in the bank, and I have Heatwave Azrael, so I don't think we're getting there. Yeah. Wait, oh, he has another poison? Okay. Well. No, I still haven't added the Yakuza songs. I have them downloaded. I didn't set the replay gain yet, or add them to the music folder. Almost. Oh wait, Thrive! Gurney! It's pretty bad in a shorter round. Like, I don't know how long the round has to be for it to be good. This has been happening more and more. Keeps happening. Forktail will be a better comparison? Yeah, probably. The difference is Forktail is 4 provisions and Tremors is 6, and this is 7. The cost of including in your deck is closer to the cost of including Tremors. Never good enough to compete with Gerd. Yeah, it's probably the question. I don't know, you can play it later in the round than you can play Gerd. Tremors only damages the opponent though. Yeah, and this effectively only damages the opponent. You get some extra value out of like your armor and stuff. I think Sabrina's Inferno was 8, but I'm not sure. Dragon Queen be good? No, I don't even know if Were Rat's good in this deck.
This one's got spirit.
Yeah, and Draga Queen consumes the armor as well, and then makes drones every turn.
Nice Tedatu. A fitting gift for our king.
So he's devotion. It's good to know. I'll be heat wave for later. Trying to set up like a coup. I don't know. I'll do this. There's the Plague Gwent site, and then there's the Bleeding Effigy. That's a Stefan skeleton. Approximately 1,000,000 points. Doesn't trigger Thrive later. Kinda happy to take the trade now. Our plan's to bleed, right? A lot of bad hits on this. Neither Ghoul nor Azrael is anything. Okay. I have to try to win round one.
But I'm gonna get ya.
Never find my Yigern. My Crones are pretty far down too. I think I shuffle this. Feels kind of bad, but I want to play the Consume Crone in round 2.
Push on! No mercy! Curious. Should have turned green, not yellow.
Okay, that's fine. Kind of. Just an 8. So I'm drawing a Duckleguard. I'll Thrive Curve this. It's not the start of the song. The spray paint can? It looks like he was trying to coup the larva.
Kill the dog diddlers!
You will not regret this, good sir.
Catch him! He's worth 20 florins!
Yes, sir. As ordered.
Yeah, we could get another pre-rank game. It's probably gonna happen more and more as I keep playing monsters. Wait, this? The horns?
My prescription. A bit of
Impressive. Nice. Oh, hey, we drew our crones. That's fine, right? I think I'm denying this coup. I know he has a coup. If he wants to cancel me, whatever.
My loyalty is to Imperial coin.
Got it.
Face.
I hate nothing more than a creaky
All
door.
Chrome's built carryover. They still work in the same way. Nothing really changed. Just the numbers have gone up. I guess there's a reason to not play the ghoul yet.
To stick my
I
nose
know
where
he has
it
targets for
doesn't
that. Nope. No tortoise. Click it a few more times, but I don't think it's gonna make him show up.
sense your pain. I see your fear.
Good night, Julio. Have a good one. Nope. Still not there. Under the info? I consume Crone. Shalmar. I think I have a fire alarm that is... Yeah, Sunset Wonders is good. And yeah, it doesn't flip the coin. Just a lot of points.
The North shall tuck tail and beg for mercy.
Another pro rank opponent. Okay. I guess this is gonna happen more and more. The best deck right now is probably Line Pockets. Line Pockets Jackpot. One of the NR decks. One of those. Would like to consume. If it's mill, I'll feel pretty silly mulling the Azrael, but whatever. I guess Curse Scroll's kind of a giveaway that it's mill. Is it? It's also a giveaway that he's gonna lose uneven.
Bow, barbarian.
Whatever.
Bow low.
Here we go again. Indeed.
You will not regret this, good sir. We follow Lether.
I think it's mill if you're playing hyper thin. Discard your thinning cards if you can. If you're playing like actual hyper thin, you're probably screwed. Like the Yennefer Triss stuff. You can try to play those early. Discard your Dead Man's Tongue. You could try to 2-0, but you're gonna have a pretty rough time. The matchup stuff, especially now this deck actually has points. It used to be winnable. Now it's probably not. I don't think the ST matchup's that bad. Gift can mulligan or discard their tutors.
Time to get our hands dirty.
Sick. Extra card.
Quick! Move those hooves! We'll both be hammed! No one can hide from me. Fly, princess! Fly!
mean, if he doesn't leader, he loses the round. Well, you can't exactly win the game if he loses the round. Oh well. He doesn't really have a win condition. His deck's kind of just trash. And I mean that in the nicest possible way.
Here's our chance.
I think I don't want to draw the card. I don't need the points. Tortoise. Nope.
Give no quarter!
I got 6 cards in deck. Yeah, sure, whatever. Pretty sure we're just 2-0ing.
We follow Lethem.
Ivar. Oh yeah, I'm a bit of a monkey. I don't know, if I play Yigern later,
Thinking could be hazardous to your health.
Whoa. That's actually a problem? Question mark? I think I make him find the points, actually, and just draw cards. He can't mill me, I'll have card advantage still. I don't want to deal with that. Now we're up 2 cards. We should be fine. Here's to open kegs. I'd recommend opening faction kegs. Just try to build one faction's deck at a time. I guess the problem with Larva... Maybe I don't want Larva. Because I let him Brothans. And if he's playing Operator, I assume that he's playing Brothans. So I'll just do this.
Naturally. At once.
Who knew once death on you? No one gets to fool you twice.
Not Griffin first here. Yeah, I probably could. I'm just thinking about minimizing Brothans. It's like the only good card that he still has. We win! Like, at some point he'll Vilga me, pull the Andrega Larva out, and then I can Griffin the Andrega Larva away. To keep his Brothen's bad. If he tries to do that early. How close to 2k am I? We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it! Another pro rank. Good start. Good start.
Any lost words?
That means we can gain a lot of MMR here. And we won't lose very much if we lose. And we also probably won't lose, because the average player at 2200 MMR is worse than the average player at rank 1. Or at least is playing a worse deck. Yeah, and it's ST. We are on the wrong coin, though. I don't know about playable. I guess playable is a word. Playable's a word. It has some matchups that it can win nowadays. Can't do anything with this. More playable than it's been in Homecoming. Yeah, sure. Back up for Axie, the Avalok. Aggressive.
Choke the embers! Wind, blow out the flames!
Our world is in harm. It's time.
Yep. Let's go for the Caress. I think the Axie's better than Heat Wave, so I'm just gonna take the Heat Wave on this. Next turn's my pass turn. Nope. No Tortoise.
Illusions. You've yet to see what they can accomplish.
Yeah, I don't really want to pull my Wanderers here if I don't have to. I don't think ground control matters that much against non-Devo Symbiosis. Tortoise ever there? Yeah. I think he's under the carpet. Like, you see that lump there? I think that lump is Tortoise. He likes to do that. It's 9 points. It's not free. Nah, Tortoise Cam is downstairs. Maybe he's an Oglay stick. Maybe I threw. Oh, nope. Okay. Are we capped? No. What the fuck? Ocean Mud. Don't lie to me. 2012 MMR. You said soft cap? I mean, that's not very soft either. We just gained 13 MMR. It just depends if you keep queuing into pro rank people. And as you climb more, you're gonna queue into more and more pro rank people. Like, I think half our games tonight were against pro rank players.